Sports. Sports are very important in British life. It's possible to practice all kinds of sports in Britain. You can see water sports. Sailing and rowing are practiced on the lakes, rivers, and coastlines. These kinds of sports are more popular in summer. Walking, rock climbing, and horse riding are all good ways to explore the landscape. Nearer your home, you will certainly find outdoor pitches for football, cricket, and other team games. Tennis is played on outdoor courts in the summer, while squash has become a popular game in recent years, as it can be played year-round on indoor courts. Most colleges and towns will also have indoor swimming pools, and some have ice skating rinks. Many colleges have their own extremely impressive sports facilities, and this is the best place to find what is available. For example, most universities have a day at the start of the year when all the clubs and societies advertise their activities, and you can go round and choose which you would like to join. The most popular outdoor spectator sports are football and horse racing. Most large towns have their own football team and ground, while race courses are found in the country and outside most major cities. All forms of motor racing are also popular. Sport plays such a large part in British life that many idioms in the English language have come from the world of sport. For example, to play the game means to be fair, and that's not cricket means that's not fair. The most popular sport in Britain as a whole is football. A lot of people support their local clubs at matches on Saturday afternoons, or watch the matches live on television.
TV and radio. Watching television is one of the great British pastimes. Broadcasting in the United Kingdom is controlled by the British Broadcasting Corporation, known as the BBC, and the Independent Broadcasting Authority, known as IBA. The BBC receives its income from the government. The IBA earns money from private companies advertising. National radio is controlled by the BBC, and listeners can choose between 4 stations. Radio 1 is a pop music station with news and magazine-style programs. Radio 2 plays light music and reports on sport. Radio 3 plays classical music, and Radio 4 has news programs, drama, and general interest programs. There are many local stations, some private and some run by the BBC. Their programs consist mainly of music and local news. The BBC has 2 TV channels. BBC Two has more serious programs and news features. The IBA is responsible for looking after the regional independent TV companies who broadcast their own programs and those they have bought from other regions. There is a break in programs for advertisements about every 15 to 20 minutes. The most recent independent channel is Channel 4, and it has more specialized programs than the main channels. In general, people think the programs offered on British television are of a very high standard. Some people, however, are becoming worried about the amount of violence on TV and the effect this may have on young people.
Great names in British history.
Henry VIII was born in Greenwich Palace in London in 1491. He married 6 times and had 6 wives. He died in 1547. Elizabeth I was the daughter of Henry VIII, and she was born in 1533, the same place as Henry VIII. She was a very popular and strong queen. During her reign, England became very important in European politics, in commerce, and the arts. She died in 1603. She never got married. William Shakespeare was born in Stratford in 1564. By 1603, the year when Queen Elizabeth I died, Shakespeare was already the leading poet and dramatist of his time. He continued to write for the next 10 years, but in 1616 he finally stopped writing and went to live in Stratford, where he died in the same year. Queen Victoria was born in London in 1819 and died in 1901. Sir Winston Churchill was born in Blenheim Palace in 1874 and died in 1965.
Some interesting places to go.
Here are some interesting places to visit. First, the West End. The West End is the name given to the area of central London. It includes Trafalgar Square, the main shopping areas of Oxford Street and Regent Street. Most of London's big department stores are in these streets, and the entertainment centres are in Soho, Piccadilly Circus, and Leicester Square. Trafalgar Square was built early in the last century to commemorate the Battle of Trafalgar. Admiral Lord Nelson's statue stands on top of a column in the middle of Trafalgar Square. At Christmas time, carol singers gather round a huge Christmas tree which is sent to Britain from Norway every year. Behind Nelson's column is the National Gallery. Piccadilly Circus is the center of nightlife in the West End. It is usually at the top of everyone's list of things to see in London because it is so well known. It is actually quite small, and most people are rather disappointed when they see it for the first time because they had imagined it would be much bigger. To the north of Piccadilly Circus is Soho, which has been the foreign quarter of London since the 17th century. Now it has restaurants offering food from a variety of different countries, especially Chinese and Italian ones. London is famous for its live theaters, and there are over 30 theaters within a square mile. If you want to know what is on in London, the best place to look is in a newspaper.